What's your one solution? What's that one way you can help other people and get paid for it? This is a question you got to ask yourself in building your personal brand, because that's how you stand out. If you actually help people and you actually help them get to an end result, now you have a strong brand that you can really build something on. So today I want to explain how you really come up with that. How do you figure out what's that one thing you're good at, that one thing you should be focused on? Let's get started. What's up, people? I'm Coach Chris, and in today's video, I want to break down exactly how you can set up your personal brand. And I say set up because this is the most important part, in my personal opinion. You have to set the foundation for your brand. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go and subscribe to the Personal Branding Playbook podcast. I'm putting some stuff on the audio version of the show that I won't be putting on YouTube. So make sure you go and subscribe to both platforms. Really appreciate that. You watching this video already, like it. It's completely free. It doesn't cost you anything. Really appreciate that. Now, why is this so important? Understanding the solution you provide is so important because this is what separates you from everybody else. If you look at a lot of the gurus and a lot of the coaches and all of these people out there that are trying to sell you products, the main thing that you don't see is somebody that is different. You rarely come across somebody that can do something other than help you build a funnel for your business, or the most popular is help you get to 10K months. Like, I'm so tired of hearing that. I can go the rest of my life without hearing 10K months. It's just, it's a phrase that coaches who coach coaches use because their only business is to coach coaches. Like, that's all they do. And you have to avoid that. You want to be different. So when I say a solution you can provide, you got to think of a way you actually help people. I mean, seriously help them. And the best way to start, this is step one. What are you best at? What are you knowledgeable about, right? Where does your experience lie, right? What expertise do you have? And I will say this, if you want to get into this space and you don't have any of those things, that's fine too. That is also fine. But you have to understand it's going to take you some time to get to the point where you can sell solutions, right? Because all coaches, freelancers, agencies, all these people are selling, consultants even. The only thing people are selling is a result. That's it. They're selling a specific result. Now, they can guarantee that result because they spent time learning how to get that result themselves. They've helped other people get the result. They have a ton of tools to get you the result. Like, it's a full package that comes to get somebody that result. But first steps first, you got to figure out how, like, what's the main thing you'll be doing? So first steps first. Not first thing, first step. The first step, you got to figure out what is the solution you want to provide. How can you actually help people? And I would suggest always going after something that you're knowledgeable about, some place you have expertise and experience, because as podcasting became more mainstream and popular, I've seen a lot of people who claim to be experts on writing your own book or creating a course or funnels or whatever it is. I've seen those people become podcast experts, and their products don't do very well because they're not a podcast expert. The truth is, if we haven't seen you hosting a show for the last 2 or 3 years and then you pop up out of nowhere with a course, you look insane. Oh, I'm doing consulting now. I'm a podcast coach, and you've never hosted a show. That's insane. And to avoid that, again, you want to go somewhere where you have experience, right? I think that's one of the biggest advantages you can have. Like, I would love to see somebody focused on, I love seeing the YouTube channels where guys teach people about nature, like how to survive in nature if you're going on hikes and stuff like that, because it's so niche specific. It's a specific type of person that's going to watch a YouTube channel and pay for a course where they can learn about how to survive in nature. Like, it's a very specific kind of person. Not everybody's going to like that. And I love it because that makes it easier to put out great content. You know exactly who you're talking to. It's easier to sell products because you know exactly who you're selling to. You can sell survival kits and all of that. When you get that specific, you can have some real fun with your brand. But most people can't get there because they're trying to do things that are just popular, right? Like right now, a big one is crypto. I see a ton of people who are crypto experts, or they've been invested in Bitcoin for over 5 years. Like, I've seen a ton of these people, and it's funny because they were never there before it became mainstream, right? Before Elon was on SNL, not a lot of people were crypto coaches. Now everybody's a crypto coach. Everybody has a course to sell or some workbook. And some people, it's justified. Again, I want to be clear. It's justified. If your brand was built around that, if you've been in finances or whatever for 3, 4, or 5 years, true, I get it. If you just started last week, you got to relax. And I say that because it impacts your brand negatively long term. When people see you as a person that's just doing it for clout or attention, or you don't really have the experience, you don't have the knowledge and expertise to back up any of your claims, they're going to look at you crazy, right? And that's really hard to overcome. You can't really fix that. Once people see you for that person, it's not going to change. They see you as that person like, oh, they're just trying to sell something again, right? It's really hard to remove that tag. So I would suggest to really be patient when it comes to getting into this personal branding. I'm going to sell my solution space. All right. I always tell people, if you're not already doing it, if you haven't been in the field for an extensive amount of time, at least 2 years, you should spend at least 6 months just helping people. 6 months, right? Like if I were to become a personal trainer today, I wouldn't just go out here and start trying to hire clients and charging high ticket prices. I'm not going to do that. What I would do is start helping people for free, a ton of people. My first 3 months, 90 days, I would help as many people as I could completely free, right? Because this is also a part of setting the foundation for your brand. When you want to prove that you can provide a solution, part of providing solutions is figuring out what works. So when you're starting out, you might not have your own process yet. You might not have a signature system yet. You might not have tools yet. So the way you figure all of that out is you literally go through it, actually go and help people. Right. Well, I tell people this all the time. Like the editors and stuff, they come to me asking me, can I teach them how to be a podcast coach? And I tell them, you got to be really patient, because I took literally 2 years of just helping people for free. 2 years, free coaching calls, free workbooks, free courses. I put out a ton of videos on Facebook and Instagram, like for years, nonstop, just dedicated to this one thing consistently for years before I started charging anything. And what that did is it built credibility. It built connections. I got a ton of testimonials. Helped me build a real foundation for my brand. You got to build a foundation, right? So I think you can even condense it if you have a better system now. So I would suggest, if you're trying to build your personal brand, some of the ways you can get started is, number one, figure out that one way you want to help people. Then number two, really start working with those people, at least 5 people a week, right? Then what you do, this is how you build on your brand. When you help those people, you want to have a system that you're implementing, your own system you created. I don't care if you have a workout plan you're putting together, if it's a meal plan. For me, it's a podcast launch strategy or a marketing strategy or monetizing. I have my own systems I had to create over time. And in 90 days, you can test this out with a lot of early on people. Right. You can still charge them. I think one thing I did wrong was not charging as many people as I could. I could have charged. I just didn't. So one thing you can do is start charging people and make it a really, really early beta price. Let them know, hey, look, I'm starting out in this. I'm building my brand here. I have a system. I know what I'm doing, but I'm still polishing things up, and I need your help. I need your feedback. Be honest and transparent about that. Don't go into it like, I think this is another problem. People that are new consultants or coaches or freelancers going into things like they're a 10-year veteran. No, be honest. Like, look, I'm figuring this out, man. This is the beginning for me, right? I'm just now getting started. I don't have 3, 4, 5 years of experience. All I have is the knowledge I learned from school or this training program, whatever, courses or whatever it is. And now I'm trying to help you. I have my own system. And because I'm so early in the process, I'm not going to charge you full price for what this will cost in a year. I'm going to give you 75% off. And I kid you not, 75% off. Actually charge people that. Because now what you're doing, every person you work with, first of all, you're going to get more people, right? Number two, you can try out your system. Number three, you're going to get a lot of feedback from the people you work with. And lastly, if you're transparent like that, people are way more likely to give you a great testimonial. They're way more likely to give you positive feedback and constructive criticism. Now, if you go in and say you're a 10-year veteran and then you don't perform like a 10-year veteran, now they're going to say you're a scammer, or that this guy doesn't know what he's doing. This company isn't good, blah, blah, blah. And now you wear that label because you didn't want to be transparent and honest up front. So to avoid all of that, to avoid all of those silly problems, focus early in your early stages of your brand on actually helping people. Like I said, for 90 days, help as many people as you can, right? And I suggest 5 a week, because after 3 months of doing that, you're going to learn so much. Not only do you learn a lot about like your business, you learn a lot about your customers. Like, I used to think podcasters only cared about making money, but I realized a lot of them care about being seen too. Some people start a show so they can be famous. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I just didn't know it was as prevalent. I thought it was like monetizing is here and marketing is here. After talking to so many, like thousands of podcasters over the years, it's the same. Everybody wants marketing just as much as they want money. People want to say I have 1 million downloads the same way they want to say I made $100,000. It's the same thing, right? So what you got to do, again, start off by helping people. Just focus on helping people in one way, right? And if you're going to be a fitness trainer, for example, help them lose belly fat. So just one thing. Let's just focus there. Help them get a bigger butt. That's it. Like just one result early on, one result. Because when you're that focused and dialed in, it's way easier to build out a process. Here's what they need to do on this week. Here's what they need to do over here. And you can line it out. For me, with my launch strategy for launching podcasts, that's exactly what I did. Before I started the marketing consultations and monetizing, I focused strictly on launching shows. That was it. And then it got to the point where I've launched so many shows now I can start on marketing. Now I can start on monetizing. But to start off and do all of them at once really would have just slowed me down. So I think it's really important for you to remember, please remember this, that you want to get as many testimonials, help as many people as you can in the first 90 days. Because after that 3 months, now the next 3 months is when you can start selling that solution, right? Now you've gotten, let's just say out of 3 months, you've helped 50 people and 20 of them gave you really good testimonials. 20 testimonials is a lot. Now it's going to be really, really easy to sell your product to other ideal customers. Now you can go from charging that 75% off to, I would say, 50. Right? Again, you want to work your way up. The goal of this building a personal brand isn't to launch something and then make $1 million overnight. You want to build a personal brand so that you touch as many people as you can and help them in a positive way. And this is how you do that. Charging them the highest price, the high ticket thing is overrated. It's overrated. I'm telling you, it's overrated. I'm going to do another video on that, but high ticket products are overrated. I promise you they are. I've done it. It's not all it's cracked up to be, man. So start off by helping as many people as you can. It'll change your brand forever. Thank you so much for tuning into the video. I appreciate you for being here, man. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, go and subscribe to the Personal Branding Playbook podcast. I'm putting stuff on audio. It won't be here on video. Also, make sure you check out the link in the description below so I can show you how you can get more of your ideal clients, even if you don't have a big mailing list, no big social media following, or a ton of money to put into Facebook ads. Get the free masterclass. It's linked in the description below. I'm Coach Chris, and I'll see you next time.